Okay, we got our buddy Norm, nitpick guy over here. He's decided he's going to volunteer to help out because my friend Pete's here alone. And this is like a little lesson of learning how to strip your car to bare metal using aircraft stripper. Now, we're not going to be able to show you the last and final step on this because this paint is so atrocious, so thick, and so fucking out of whack that I have already, this is the 6th coat on this side, 6 coats. 6 coats of stripper, and you can see I'll probably have to put a couple more coats on it. This car was painted 3 times. It had 3 different layers of paint jobs on top of this thing. We're actually on day 2 on this, and it's around 5 o'clock at night. But let me go ahead and explain what I usually do after the 3rd or 4th coat when we get it down to this stage right here.
Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
So if you remember correctly, I told you that you need some grade 3, okay, 3rd grade coarse steel wool. That's the coarsest you can buy. And what we're going to do with this is when you put your final coat of stripper on it, you're not going to use your scraper as much. And I'm going to tell you why, because you're going to take your steel wool, and then what you'll do is you'll clean it down with your steel wool, getting all of the film and the scum that was left behind. That's what you would do on your final and last coat of stripper. And what that steel wool does is it'll remove the light film of primer that you didn't get off with your scraper. Very simple, very easy. To do this car, the shape that it's in is going to take about 4 bags of steel wool to really get it down dirty. And then you'll take your steel wool and you'll get your fender well. And do you see how the stripper builds up on it? When it builds up all the way and you can't feel it working, it's time to throw it away. But this is what your steel wool's for, is to get all these grooves in here. And then on your final coat, you'll come back and you'll scrub it down. How's it going over here, Norm? What's up, bud?
Well, it's only taking off the red, as you can see. It's leaving the primer. It looks like there's 2 coats of primer on this, maybe some Bondo under there too.
Yeah, probably.
Because I'm not even to metal. Maybe right there I might have hit metal.
Look at that. You can see that's Bondo right there.
Yep.
That's Bondo. So you got to get all the red off. How's that coming off? Pretty good?
Yeah, it's coming off good, but
yeah, a lot of work.
It's a lot of tedious edges on this.
This is a situation you have when you run into a car that's been painted 2 or 3 times. It takes 2 to 3 to 4 times more work to get it done. I forgot to tell everybody, we're actually on our 3rd gallon, and we're probably going to open up the 4th gallon here in a minute because we are going to go ahead and strip the hood. This side here is actually stripped and done. This is a done deal. That was most of the day job. Everywhere that you see that it looks like there's paint is actually Bondo. I'm not going to take that off. I'll go ahead and use my Bondo Buster, DA sanders, and everything to get that off. So that's all Bondo that you're looking at, but it is stripped down to bare metal. We got the roof done. It's stripped down to bare metal. And we got a couple places right in here. You can see where it's still bubbling up. I'm going to go back with my steel wool just like I showed you and get rid of all that stuff. But we got to finish the hood right here. We got to get the other side of the car. And then we're going to go ahead and finish this baby out using our steel wool and the secret ingredient that's going to finish it up and make it look like brand new. Have you ever stripped a car, Norm?
Not the whole thing.
What do you think of stripping?
It's, it's a job, man.
It's a hard, filthy job, dude.
It's just
A lot of people wouldn't want to do it. They'd rather pay somebody else to do it.
I don't blame them. I'd rather pay somebody else to do it too.
This is a job that says, son of a bitch. I don't want nothing to do with that scumbag slime job.
You better have you a good place to do it where you can clean it up and you don't have
well ventilated.
Well ventilated, and you don't have your kids or your pets tracking through it and burn the shit out of it.
Look at all the paint we've taken off already, dude. Look at this, all the way around the car.
Yeah,
wow.
don't do this in your garage. You're gonna have people tracing through.
Yep.
They'll drag this shit in the house.
That's another thing. Norm brought up a good point. If you're doing this in your garage at home, do not let anybody walk outside in your garage. You can see where we've been walking around, and on the bottom of our shoes, there you go. It's caked.
They get it on their hands. They're gonna burn them.
Get it on their hands.
Touch their eyes.
If your dog or your cat walks out there, dangerous. Very dangerous. Very dangerous.
I'd leave the garage door open. I don't care if it's winter time.
All the time. Okay. Get her done, Norm. Let's get another coat on that. Remember, we still got to get this hood. Don't waste that shit. All right. Well, we finally got the car stripped to bare metal. 2 long days, 2 hard days, and it's now time to finish it out and get ready to start prepping, doing the body work, and redoing to restore. This is what it looks like when you get done stripping your car. This is it. Our main tool, once again, was our hand scraper. You can see it right there. And I don't even know if I introduced this tool. This is actually a wire brush. It's a big, thick wire brush that has a scraper on it. Now, what I use this for is if you look up inside here, you can see that it's very hard to get up in there to strip that with a blade. Usually I use steel wool, but we already went through that, and on this particular car, steel wool was not a negotiable situation. So what I did is I took my steel brush and I brushed that out and scraped it to get every nook and cranny. The same with this section right here. All right, in between these doors, and just everything around all the hard to get places. Down here in our gutter, you can see as I scrape that, it removes it. Okay, let me get that right there. I'm trying to not to touch this. Don't want that stripper to get on my hands. But that's what this tool right here is used for. Very handy tool. Get one. They're cheap, they're inexpensive, and they do wonders. Right here, this is that gutter that holds that rubber in there where our roof panel meets the quarter panel. So, yeah, nice tool. We ended up using 4 gallons of stripper on this job. 4 gallons of stripper. Horrendous job that it was. We used 4 gallons of stripper on this little car right here. Now, if you look, you can see that there's still paint on there. That's not paint. Now, this is paint over here. This is primer, which will come off on our final step. But everywhere else that you see on this car is basically bondoed areas. That's where bondo is. I'm not going to strip that off. I'll get that off at a further date. So we don't need to remove that. We come around here to the back. We're not stripping the door because we got another door. We come around to this side. We see there's body work on this quarter panel. Body work at the bottom of the door. We got the roof done. Everything's been stripped. We've done everything possible in our power that we could do to strip this car. Let's get this thing outside and let's finish it off so we can get done and go home. Alright, the last and final thing that we're going to do to our car to finish this thing out is we're going to take our coarse steel wool, we're going to take our running water, just faucet water, we're going to wash this car off, and we're going to take our steel wool to remove all the stripper. Very important step here. This is the main step that you got to do properly. We got to get all that stripper off that car, and the only way to do it right is right here. We got to use hand power, and we got to use our steel wool to get her done. Let's get the water hose on it. Let's start washing it off. And hopefully this job will be done. All right, we're gonna take our hose with our water turned on, and we're just gonna start spraying that down. And what this is gonna do, this is gonna deactivate our stripper. So let's get all this big shit off first. Just like this. And you don't want to use a pressure washer. Pressure washers is a no-no. Especially if you have other vehicles around, you do not want to use a pressure washer. The pressure washer, what will happen, it will make everything fly out the car and on everything around you. So stay away from the pressure washer. Once you start wetting it down with water, it's real important that you got to get her done quick. The water will shock the stripper, and if you don't get it off, it will dry on there. Just taking your steel wool, just like you see me doing, and cleaning it off, just like you're washing the car. And you can tell, when you're rubbing this, you can tell that it's coming off. You want to get it off your glass, rub it very smoothly. If you don't get that off your glass, it's going to be hell getting off later. So don't scratch your glass, just take the stripper off. Keep your water moving all the time, vigorously, as you're rubbing your car down. And then once your steel wool is full of stripper, throw it away and get a clean one. All right, I just got done washing off one fender and one side of the hood. I got to repeat my process throughout the whole car and make sure to get all that stripper off everything. Now, I don't know if I mention this or not, but the stripper will not eat your chrome or your rubber. So your rubber and your chrome are protected. It will not hurt your chrome or rubber. So don't worry about your chrome or your rubber when you're stripping your car. Okay, I just got this side done. Let me go ahead and get that side over there. I'm going to repeat my process using my steel wool to scrub and wash the car off with water faucet only. Or should I say faucet water. When we get done, we'll take a good look at this thing and see what the final finished product is. Whew, we'll be back. Big fucking job. Son of a bitch. All right, we finally got her all stripped down. Let's take a good look at it and see what 2 hard days of labor is all about. So this is basically what's going on. This is bare fucking metal. Everywhere that you see that looks like paint is Bondo, okay? This is all Bondo. I'm not gonna strip that out. I'll grind it out with my 36 grit Bondo Buster. And then of course we got rust. Got some rust we gotta fix. That'll be first. And I want you to pay attention, this car's wet. This is the situation when you strip it by hand. You have now kept the factory etching coat of the vehicle and it is still protected 100%. Do you see what I'm talking about? That car will not rust. It will not rust out. It'll dry off, and if you look right here, you can see it's already dry. Yeah, right in this area, you can see where it's already dry. It'll dry, and it'll be a nice, clean metal that we'll be able to work with. So I did find out this is an aftermarket hood. The owner found several other hoods, but they were so expensive that it looks like we're going to have to go ahead and fix this hood. So real fucking great. But here's where we started right here. And this is a situation that says we got a lot of Bondo in that door, down on that rocker panel, down by the bottom of the door. We're going to have to grind all that Bondo out. We're going to have to redo all that body work and make it right. So if you want to do a job like my friend Pete does, and you want that baby to look like this Mustang over here, then I suggest that you strip that car down to bare metal. This car was stripped to bare metal. Go on my website, www.swrnc.com, and then go to latest projects, find this Mustang, Charlotte's Mustang, scroll down on those pictures. You'll see what kind of situation we had on this dog when we stripped it. It gives such a better quality finish. It's higher quality. It's glossier. It's smoother. I mean, there's no comparison at all. Now, I want to say one thing about stripping paint. If you have the original paint on your car and it's never been painted, or it might have only been painted one time but professionally painted, not cheesy painted, you can possibly get away with restoring your car without stripping it down. If you know for a fact that there's major bodywork in that car, unlike this situation, we didn't know, and you know that all that bodywork is going to have to be redone, I would go ahead and investigate the situation before you strip it down to bare metal. So you got two options. If the car's never been painted before, more than likely you won't have to strip it to metal. And if it has been painted, you will have to strip it to metal. This is Pete, my friend Pete, your friend Pete. Stripping Hondas and thinking it's a 1959 Cadillac with all the fucking work we did to it. Take it easy, we'll see you later. And I hope you learned how to strip your car to get that baby restored properly. Airplane stripper, a lot of hard muscle, grease, fucking elbow shit going on, and you can do it. You can do it. This is a 2-day job. You can do it. We'll see you later.
Thanks for watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.